Hello and welcome to the show. I got some quick, good updates for you. It's been a busy little bit and I've been a busy little beaver, so look at this. That's right, the car's working. So, how do we get from not working to working? I'll show you kind of what I did. I'm sorry we didn't do a little bit better job of keeping you updated as it went along, but I was getting frustrated. Let me show to you, not sponsored, but this, some new old stock manual. And the online manuals are great and all, but it's something if you're able to, where's my little bunny here? When you're actually able to get in here and take a look at where are my little rabbit ears? So this is how much, there we go. So I was able to get in and do some working on the vehicle, and I literally had to get in and just trace every single wire going on in here through all that rat's nest you can see in the video when we got the car started. And that was fun. So once we got the wires sorted out, the issue ended up being you would turn the key and it would start. And you could hear the starter engage and you could hear everything, brr, 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 and nothing was catching. The car from the previous owner, or not the car so much as the motor, he said he got a new set of these coil packs. So I figured that might be the cause of the issues we were having. So this is actually the older one, but I actually transplanted parts around between the two. So that's the old bottom, as you can see. This thing was cracked and covered and been on the car since '95. This is the plate from the newer coil pack he actually gave me, which is why it says 2.4 twin cam and not quad cam, or quad 4. I keep wanting to call it quad cam, which it is definitely not. So what we ended up doing is we had to do a little bit of testing. So we got two turn signal bulbs, and disconnected this set of wires here and this set of wires here. And you can see it's two whites and a black. So you connect the black to the ground side of both bulbs and the white to one of each of the bulbs. And then you plug them into this little controller here. So this is the controller from the older car. This controller actually does work, but because it's the older one, we decided we're not going to use it. The newer one did work. That's the older housing as well. We decided we're not going to use that either. So these coils, which are from the newer car, actually both don't work, which is what was giving us half of our issue. And those are the other set of coils. As you can see, that's where they plug in and everything. So it seemed like these coils weren't working. These are the newer coils and they definitely weren't working. The older coils may have been working, but this housing casing that they come in, so each wire connects and runs to a set. So it just wasn't working. So we had to replace those. The other issue was a little bit more obvious. I didn't have enough gas in the car. There was enough to pump it up and to get the fuel pressure regulator to turn off, but it wasn't enough to actually get the engine to catch. Motor now running. As you can see in the video, it kind of vibrates around a little bit more. We've just been getting some like sheet stock and just trying to fab up some motor mounts just to keep this thing, there's no bushings, there's no nothing. These things are known for their noise handling and vibration, and I am A-okay with that. This is me editing this, going noise handling and vibration? No. What I mean is noise, harshness, and vibration. The Quad 4 was quite known for being bad at all of those. All right, back to past stupid me. We're not going for comfort here. We're going for as hardcore of an experience as we can get. We lined up the shafts, make sure that the drive shaft coming from this here is in line and directed where it needs to go into the transmission back there. So now we can bolt everything on this end back up. We're trying to get underneath and just, there's some engine mounts. I'm not crawling under the motor at the moment. You can see it. You can probably see it up underneath there. I really can't see it at the moment. We got some brackets coming in. We're just going to go ahead. We need, I think, one more bracket from the rear of the motor down to the subframe back there. And we should be good to go. We'll have 4 good spots where the motor itself is actually rested on there. So we'll have 1 bracket here. We'll have 2 brackets on this side and 1 bracket leading to the back. And I think that should be good. The transmission has 2 brackets on itself already. So then they're more flexible since that gets a little bit more vibrating down there and it's got more stuff to deal with. We actually have 2 ECUs now. That was the original one we bought for the car, which I thought I might have damaged with the short. That one is from a, what is this one from? I can't even remember anymore. This one is from a 94 Olds Quad4. The other one is from a, we actually put it in here. As you can see, this is from a 94 Grand Am. So you can see what I ended up doing is C16 to C1, A12 to A1, C16, C1. That's because in the wonderful manual and in all of these GM cars, there's actually 2 sets of connectors labeled C1 and A1, or C1 and D1. So you can see it gets kind of frustrating when you have a C15 here, a C15 over here. And the only way you really tell them apart is based on the color in the position. So that was frustrating to deal with, but we got it done. So the thing runs, which is great. And they're kind of giving me like a duality of man thing if I look like that. So what else do we have left to do on the Fiero? Obviously we got to put body panels back onto it. We got to get the motor finish mounted up. We got to get everything in the rear suspension bolted back together, put on. We're going to put some new wheels and new tires on it, maybe just some new tires. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to try and get this thing back on the road as cheaply as possible so we can do some fun stuff with it. And then once we got it running for a few weeks, we're going to try and get this thing some upgrades to it. So obviously coolant has to be done. That's going to be fun. That's kind of my next big project we're going to try and get done here. So if you like coolant, that's the next thing. So thanks so much for watching. Sorry for kind of the gap of updates there, but frustrating. Kind of leads you not to want to update things as much as you might want to. Kind of getting some weird artifacts on this. There, that's a good side. Hairs looks like crap still. Beard looks good.